aspects of directing. 4 we have already completed, that is supervision and motivation. Today we are going to talk about leadership, and then if time permits, we will also a little bit talk about communication. Now, what is leadership? Leadership is, where in the name, in the term itself, they have mentioned the meaning. Leader is the one who leads, right? Leadership. Leadership is the one who lead the entire subordinates, all the team is nothing but leadership. Okay. We know that, right? Since childhood, it's from a very long time we hear about this word leadership, leadership, leadership. You are a good leader, you are a bad leader, you are not perfect leader. So this leadership is what, or this leader is what? That means the person, how capable the person is to lead a team. Lead a team means, again, this is the very important term or very important job done by a manager in the organization. Now, leader is not only there in the organization, in general also, in our school, in our home, at our friends, with our friends, we discuss about this term, that is leadership. So majorly if we talk about in the organizational term, then leadership is no one but your manager, who is going to lead all the subordinates. Fine. So about leadership, we need to study features, importance of leadership, qualities of a good leader, what are the style of leadership. Then we'll start with the next aspect, that is communication, and under which we have to study about elements of communication process and importance of communication. Fine. This much we have targeted to complete in our today's lecture. Let us start with leadership. So the process of influencing the behavior of people by making them strive voluntarily towards achievement of organizational goal. So a leader is going to influence all its subordinates to achieve the organizational goal. It's the leader who motivates and gives the courage or confidence to all the subordinates to complete and reach towards a goal. So that is why it indicates the ability of an individual to maintain good interpersonal relations with the followers and motivate them to contribute for achieving organized objectives. It is the managers who are going to motivate their subordinates. See, if there is one manager and it is possible that this manager has the team of 10 members. Okay, in this under this manager there are 10 members, and these all are the subordinates. Manager is the superior. So it's the responsibility of the superior to motivate its subordinates and lead them so that they can contribute towards the organizational goal. Definition of leadership. Again, there are many definitions given in your NCERT book, out of which you can just select any one and write it in your exams. Here I have selected the definition given by Harold Kunz and hence Vivek. Now it's up to you. Whichever definition you all feel is easier, you all can remember that and write it in the exams. Any one. So what is leadership according to Harold Kunz? If you don't write the entire name, then also it's fine. If you just remember Harold Kunz, write that much. Okay, if you don't write this, then also it's fine. So leadership is the art of process of influencing people so that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group goals. Group goals or organizational goals. So according to Harold Kunz, leadership is the process of influencing all the subordinates so that influencing in a positive manner, in a positive terms, so that all the subordinates work very enthusiastically, motivatedly, willingly in order to achieve the group goals or organizational goals. So here he says that leadership is nothing but the process of how we can influence our subordinates to work towards a common goal. So this is the meaning of leadership according to Harlot Kunz. Now, what are the features of leadership? So leadership indicates ability of an individual to influence others. How nicely you can manipulate or influence others. That is a very good quality of a leader. If leader out of these 10 people, there is a team of 10 members. Out of this 10 people, even if 9 people are agreeing to it and working according to him, that means he is a very good leader. Successful in influencing the 9 people. Okay, if entire 10 people could do, then that is so excellent. But if at all not all 10 people, but also 9 people out of them are following the leader, that means he is a very good leader. He has influenced everyone very nicely. So that is one of the feature of a leadership. Second, leadership tries to bring change in the behavior of others. Leaders will always try to bring positive behavior from every subordinate or from every team member. A good leader would be successful or will be able to get positive and a nice nature or a behavior from all the team members. Nobody will be against to that person because he is a very good leader. He has changed the behavior of all the team members in a positive manner. This can also be a very good feature or the characteristics of leadership. Third, it says leadership indicates interpersonal relationship between leaders and followers. So leaders is for nothing but your superior. Followers are your nothing but subordinates. So how is the relationship between superior and the subordinate will define the quality of leadership. How good or how nice a leader is, you can understand with the interpersonal relationship between superior and then subordinate. Leadership is exercised to achieve common goals of the organization. Now, superior is going to lead all the subordinates in order to achieve the common goal of the organization. A leader will never say that focus only on your personal objective or focus only on your personal goals. A leader will always influence all the subordinates to achieve common goal for the organization. Then they say leadership is a continuous process. Same thing. Till the time organization is existing, is running, leadership is going to be there. So it's a continuous process. These are the 5 major features or characteristics of leadership. In exams, you don't have to elaborate any feature. You just have to write these one sentences. Next is importance of leadership, that why leadership is important. So first one is leadership influences the behavior of people. So as we already saw in the characteristics, that leadership will bring positive and good behavior from each and every subordinate. Now I would want Sadhna to read this point and just give me a summary kind of a thing for the point. And everybody else will also read the point, the 2 sentences. Come on, quickly. And Sadhna?
Yes.
Sadhna is explaining the point, everyone. Listen carefully. Yes, Sadhna, continue.
that leadership behavior take water growth in the organization. So it's good leader will produce good that's it.
Yes, very good. So basically this point says that every leader who is a good leader will bring a positive and a very energetic atmosphere or environment inside the organization. It will motivate all the subordinates, all the people to work enthusiastically for achieving the organizational goals. Also, a good leader will always bring a best result from their followers, because a leader knows that how the particular person is, and accordingly the leader will communicate or work with that individual and bring the best out of him. See, very simple. How our parents know about our nature. Now, in some of you cases, it would be your siblings, your parents, or your friends. Like in my case, I would say it's my sister. She knows what is best for me, and she knows how my behavior is, my nature is. So anytime when for any topic, if I am negative or if I'm not confident about it, she deals with me in such a way that she will make me confident, she will motivate me, and ultimately then I will be again back to normal and positive in my behavior or in my nature. I'll start thinking positively. Why is that happening? Because that leader, my sister, knows about me. She has studied about me. She knows how to influence me. So she will do that, and then again she will get best out of me. Managers knows that how the subordinate is, how the person is individually, as an individual also. So accordingly, the manager is going to behave in such a way that he will bring the best out of his all the subordinates. So that influence the behavior of all the people who are subordinate to them. Second is a leader maintains personal relations. Yes, a leader always maintains a personal relations with its subordinates. That is how the relationship grows, right? If the subordinate has very ego and has very attitude, he always feels I am the superior, I am the superior, all rest of them are subordinate to me. If he has such kind of an attitude, then all the subordinates are not going to like that leader, right? You will also not like. If you are all are put into a circumstance where there is one person who becomes your leader, in general, in your school, take the example of your school. In your school, teacher says, okay, fine, this one student is your leader. You all have to listen to the leader, whatever he say or she says. And that person becomes very egoistic, has very much of attitude that I am the leader, I am the best and all. You all will not feel like listening or listening to him, listening to that leader. Whatever guidance he is giving, you all will not like it. It's natural, it's human tendency, right? But at the same time, if the leader behaves very nicely with you all, very politely, and with a very good attitude, very good nature, then you all will love that leader, and whatever or however he guides you, you all are going to listen to him, right? So same way you have to maintain, the leader has to maintain good relations with all of its subordinates in order to achieve the organizational goal. Quickly read the point. Done. So the point says leader will maintain good relations this will help in fulfilling all the needs of the subordinates. He will give all the confidence, support, encouragement, motivation, guidance, counseling, everything to the subordinates in order to create congenial work environment. Now here tell me, what does the term congenial means? Nobody knows? If nobody knows, then why didn't anybody ask me? If you all don't know any term, meaning of any term, you all should ask me, no? That, ma'am, what does congenial means over here? Medula, no, not similar. Congenial work environment. Anybody who wants to give? Yes, very good part. Congenial means pleasant. It makes the work environment very, very, very pleasant. So congenial means pleasant, a good environment. Yes. Third importance is leader plays a key role. Yes. In any organization or in every organization, a manager is the one who is extremely very important, and he plays a very important role in the entire organization, and thus he is said to be a key role, key person of the company, key person of the organization. How key is important for locks? Yes, otherwise you can unlock the door. So that is how the key is important for us. Say that is why we relate our managers also as a key. That means is a very important person in the organization. So leader plays a key role in introducing required changes in the organization. So leader is the one who will provide or who will come up with all the changes which are needed in the organization. He will pursue, he will clarify and inspire people to accept changes wholeheartedly. So as we already know that if there is any changes, if there is any new kind of changes in the organization, many a times people resist to that change. People don't accept that change. But now here again there is a part of a very good leader, that how nicely he is able to influence all the subordinates to accept these changes happening in the organization. If a leader has a very good quality, if the leader is very good, then he will be very much successful in making everyone accept the changes happening in the organization. So he will help the subordinates to accept these changes in the organization wholeheartedly or positively. And if the leader is successful in doing this, then he is again ultimately a very good leader. So leader is someone who is going to play a very important role, as well as he is the one who is going to make the changes. He is going to come up with a different kind of changes required in the organization. And with that, he will also motivate, persuade, clarify, inspire to accept these changes amongst all the subordinates positively. So he overcomes the problem of resistance to change and introduces it with minimum discontentment. So there is discontentment, they will disagree, people will disagree to accept this change, they are going to be resisting this change. So a good leader will help all the subordinates to overcome this problem and introduce them with these changes positively. A good leader handles conflicts. Now, this is not new. Every organization goes through this kind of things. Employees might have bad relations with each other. There might be a conflictory situations. Why? Because we all are human beings. We all come from the different backgrounds, different traditions, different culture, different thought processes, different suggestions, different opinions. We all come up with different things, right? Now, these many different things when clashes or when combines together in one organization, it's but obvious there are going to conflicts take place. So a leader should be able to resolve these conflicts happening in the organization. A leader should always be able to resolve the conflicts taking place in the organization. So a leader handles conflicts effectively and does not allow adverse effects resulting from the conflicts. Now we know that if conflicts take place, there will be a very bad effect. If the name of the company also gets spoiled, negative image of the company, brand image gets spoiled if that conflict is a very big conflict or that conflict goes out of the organization. So these leads to very adverse effects for the company, for the organization. So a leader is going to handle all the conflicts very efficiently and effectively so that the conflicts are solved. Fightings are solved within the organization only. So a good leader always allows his followers to ventilate their feelings and disagreement, but persuades them by giving suitable clarification. So good leader will always say that, okay, whoever has any problem, please come up to me, speak to me, talk to me, whatever feelings, whatever disagreements you all have, you all can speak. There can be conflicts also, but leader assures that everything will be resolved. No conflict will take a drastic step or a major step. So this is what the quality of a good leader is. A leader will say, whoever has any issues, any problem, please come up to me and talk to me. I will resolve your problem. And if there is any conflict, so that will also be taken care of. So this is how a good leader should handle all the conflicts. A leader provides training. Yes, leader has more interpersonal skills or intelligence, or you can say knowledge. That is the reason he is the leader. Nobody can become a leader just like that, right? There needs to be some quality because of which he had become a leader. So leader has those qualities. He's a more successful person as compared to the other subordinates, and that is why he is going to provide training to all of his subordinates. So leader provides training to their subordinates. A good leader always builds up successor and helps in smooth succession process. So if there are leader, organization will always be in success, and the process happening in the organization, functions happening in the organization are always going to be very, very smooth. So leader will provide the training accordingly. All good leaders may not necessarily possess all the qualities of a good leader. Now what they are saying that that is possible, no? We know that there are so many different qualities of a leader. There should be different qualities in a leader. But it is also possible that all qualities might not be there in one leader. There might be few qualities in the leader, but few qualities would not be there. So it is possible that all qualities may not be there in one person or in one leader. Come talk about ourselves only. We all are so different from each other. What I have will not be having by you. What you have, I will be not having. Everybody possess some or the other kind of qualities, right? Same way in the case of leader also. Few leader will have few qualities, another leader will have another qualities. It is not possible that a one leader has all the required qualities. So it is not possible for an individual to have all the qualities. As I said, it is not possible, or it does not happen that one leader has the all qualities. So an understanding about these qualities help the managers to acquire them through training and conscious efforts. So that is why training is a very must or a very important thing for the subordinates. Whatever quality is lacking in them can be trained to them. We can explain them, we can train them. And that is why training is very important to the subordinates. Okay, till here, is it clear everything? Features of leadership, importance of leadership, all good? Yes? Oh, good. Next is style of leadership. Now there are different styles of leadership. What are those style? We will see. So there are many theories of leadership, behavior and styles. Research studies have revealed certain traits and qualities which a leader might possess. So now there is one research study happened on the basis of leadership or on the topic leadership, and they have come up with certain characteristics or traits and qualities that every leader should possess. So these are not conclusive since may people possess these qualities but may not be leaders. Now this is possible that someone might have the qualities of a leader but he might not be a leader. It is also possible that the person is leader but he does not possess all the qualities of a leader. Both the situations are possible practically in real life. Fine. So there are several bases for classifying leadership style. The most popular classification of leadership style is based on authority. So there are different bases through which you can classify the styles of leadership. The most famous or the popular style of leadership is authority. And depending on the use of authority, there are three basic style of leadership. So now they are saying that you can classify the styles of leadership on different bases, but one of the bases which they have considered is authority, and on the basis of authority the leadership style can be of three types. First is autocratic, second is democratic, and third is laissez-faire. Very important. High chances of case studies or descriptive answers from this particular topic. Fine. Basically, research studies have researched that leadership style can be of multiple types, or we can do the study of leadership style on multiple bases, but one of the major bases which they have considered is authority. And according to authority there are three styles: autocratic, democratic and laissez-faire. So we are going to see all three of them one by one. First, autocratic, or it is also known as authoritarian leader. So it is also called as autocratic or authoritarian leader. Okay. First of all, you all give a read, then I will explain. Come on. Give it a read. I'll be just back in 2 minutes. Okay, done. What is autocratic or authoritarian leader? So that is such kind of leader who is just going to give orders or pass orders to the subordinates. He will not listen to any subordinate. He will just give his orders and expect that every subordinate should listen to him. He will not take any opinions or any suggestions from anyone in the organization. He will just give his orders to the subordinates. Every subordinate is expected to listen to him and obey him. Okay, and that is why we usually call it as one-way communication, because only subordinate is communicating or talking or passing his messages. Subordinate does not have any option but to accept their orders and do it according to the manager. So this leader is called as dogmatic. Dogmatic means it does not change or wish to be contradicted. He will not change at all, or he will not want anybody to question him or contradict him. He will say, whatever I say, you have to do it. No opinions, no suggestions, nothing will change, no contradictions, nothing. So that is why we call such kind of leaders dogmatic. I hope it is clear. So an autocratic leader gives orders and expects his subordinates to obey those orders. Okay. So here the leader is going to give the orders, pass the orders to the subordinates, and he will expect that every subordinate should accept the order and listen to him. So if manager is following this style, then communication is only one way with the subordinate, only acting according to the command given by the manager. This manager is going to give command to all its subordinates. There are 10 members. He will pass orders and he will expect that this all subordinates should follow the orders given by the manager. In return, subordinates cannot give their any suggestions, any opinions, any ideas, nothing. And that is why it is called as one-way communication. And that is why it is called as dogmatic approach. Dogmatic means it will not change, or it will not want to change, or it will not want any kind of contradict. Manager will not want that any subordinate should come to me with their suggestions, opinions, or ideas. Whatever I am saying, you have to accept it. His following is based on the assumption that reward or punishment both can be given depending upon the result. So here, under autocratic style, a leader will feel or he will be in this assumption that if anyone is depending upon the result of the subordinates, he will think that whether I should give punishment or whether I should give reward to that particular employee. This leadership style is effective in getting productivity in many situations, like in factory, where the supervisor is responsible for production on time and has to ensure labor productivity. So this kind of styles are more good on factory level, where we have laborers working. So if we want to increase the productivity of these laborers, it is good that if the leader or the supervisor follows autocratic approach or autocratic leadership style, because this will help to increase the productivity of the labor, because laborers know that if they are not doing the task according to the mentioned sheet, so then they will be getting punishment. For say example, it is a standard that one labor has to produce 10 units per day. So if they are doing so, then they will be getting a reward. If they are not doing so, they will be getting punishment. So this is how you can increase the productivity. If they want reward, they will be completing their task. And if they are not completing, they know that they will be getting punishment. And in the fear of punishment, they will try to complete the task however it can be possible. quick decision making is also facilitated because there is only one person who is deciding everything for everyone. He is not going to take any suggestions, any opinions from anyone. He will be the only one who will be deciding everything. So of course, it's a quick decision. There are variations also. They may listen to everyone's opinion, consider subordinates' ideas and concerns, but the decision will be their own. Now, one of the way is they will not listen to the subordinates at all. But other way can be, they will say, okay, fine, you all can come, give me your suggestions, give me your ideas, but ultimately, I'll be doing whatever I want. For example, I'm an autocratic leader. I say that, okay, you all tell me on Sunday which chapter test you all want me to keep. So one will say national income, one will say staffing, one will say organizing, one will say money and banking. But ultimately, I decide that I want to put the test for directing. So I have taken all your opinions, suggestions, ideas, and everything, but the final decision is mine. Whatever I want, I will decide that. Okay, this is what an autocratic leader is. Dogmatic, a very important term, you all should remember it. Second is democratic or participative leader. So second form or second style of leadership is democratic or participative. So with the name itself, now you all have gotten the idea what does it means. A democratic leader will develop action plans and makes decisions in consultation with his subordinates. He will encourage them to participate in decision making. So a democratic leader is the leader who is free, who will give every subordinate the equal chance, equal opportunity to involve in decision making, to participate in decision making. So such kind of leaders are called as democratic leaders or participative leaders, wherein they are going to give equal chance or equal opportunity to everyone, to every subordinate to participate in decision making. This kind of leadership style is more common nowadays since leaders also recognize that people perform best if they have set their own objectives. So nowadays it is a very popular form of leadership style. Many organizations, many leaders follow this style only because they know that people will be free or subordinates will be more free and more open to work if they are given some kind of freedom. If we restrict them or if we don't give them that much of freedom, it might hamper their work or their contribution towards the organization. So nowadays, many leaders follow this particular style only. And they also need to respect the other's opinion, support subordinates to perform their duties and accomplish organizational objectives. So here they will have to give the opinions, support to the subordinates, perform all the duties very nicely in order to achieve the organizational objective. And they exercise more control by using forces within the group. So they will force all the subordinates to participate or to involve in decision making. So that was your second style, democratic or participative. Third style is laissez-faire or free rein leader. Every leadership style has the alternative name. Okay, autocratic, authoritarian. Second was democratic, participative. Third is laissez-faire or free rein leader. Such a leader does not believe in the use of power unless it is absolutely essential. Followers are given high degree of independence to formulate their own objectives and ways to achieve them. Here, complete freedom. Here, leader will say, you decide what you want, you make your own objectives, you do whatever you want, unless and until it's a very emergency that some employee or some subordinate is completely not working very nicely or is very lazy or is not very productive. Only then this kind of leaders will enter into the situation and try to solve the situation. Rest, everything is formulated by the subordinates itself and they will only achieve the objectives. Complete freedom here. Group members work on their own task, resolving issues themselves. All the group members, all the team members are going to work on themselves, by themselves, and resolve all the conflicts, issues, whatever it is, everything will be done within the group, within those subordinates. So if there is a team of 10 people, these 10 people will be looking after everything. The manager will be standing aside, standing outside, and just observing them. This is the only thing a manager or a leader under laissez-faire is going to do. So the manager is there only to support them and supply them the required information to complete this task. Manager will only motivate them, support them, guide them, counsel them, and provide them whatever information they need. That's all. This is the only work what the manager or the leader over here is going to do. At the same time, subordinate assumes responsibility for the work to be performed. So at the same time, subordinates are also going to be very responsible, very nice. They will understand their importance of work, responsibility, and accordingly they will also accomplish all the tasks. Fine. So this was related to everything on leadership. Okay, what is leadership? So features of leadership, importance of leadership, then features of leadership, importance of leadership. Then we also talked about related to qualities of a good leader. What are the good qualities? Leadership style. Okay, so everything till here is related to leadership. Next topic which we are going to start is going to be the communication, elements of communication, process and importance of communication. So basically your last part of the chapter. Fine. 3 aspects, 4 out of 4 is completed. Supervision, motivation, leadership and communication. Supervision, motivation, leadership already done. Last part or the last aspect is communication. So the now there are few more topics which will I think will take one more session for that to complete the entire communication part. Then your directing chapter will get completed. And from the entire directing chapter, this was the part which was very important, that is aspects of directing. All the 4 aspects are very important from the point of view of case study or even for descriptive answers. Fine. So last is communication. What we are doing right now is also communication. Yes, we are talking. When we talk, it is nothing but to communicate. Communication, the meaning of the term is the same. Communication, to communicate, to talk with someone. Fine. So let us see. The word communication has been derived from the Latin word communis, which means common, which consequently implies common understanding. So communication has been derived from a Latin word. In Latin, the term was communis and it means common understanding. Communication is defined in different ways. Generally, it is understood as a process of exchange of ideas, views, facts, feelings, etc. between or among people to create common understanding. So when you communicate or when you speak to someone else about any ideas, suggestions, opinion, views, facts, emotions, feelings, anything related to such things, we say that you are communicating, which is bringing a common understanding between 2 or more than 2 people. So again, definition of communication. So again, you have multiple definitions of communication in your NCERT book, out of which you can select any one which you all feel is easier. I thought this one should be appropriate, so that is why I took this definition. Otherwise, according to you, whichever definition you all feel is much easier or understandable, you all can pick up like accordingly. So communication is a process. This is given by Rogers. And he says that communication is a process by which people create and share information with one another in order to reach common understanding. So according to Rogers, what is communication? So according to him, communication is a process by which people or individuals are going to create and share the information with one another in order to reach common understandings. This is what Roger defines communication as. Fine. Now, what are the different elements of communication process? So, communication has been defined as a process. Yes, of course, communication is a proper process. This process involves elements like source, encoding, media, receiver, decoding, noise, and feedback. The elements involved in communication process are explained below. So these are the few elements which are involved in the communication process. Each one of the element we are going to discuss now. First element is sender. With the name itself, we should know who is the sender. The one who is going to send the message. The one who is going to send its ideas, thought, opinions, feelings, such like that, is called as sender. So in the element of communication process, the first one is sender. Sender means person who conveys his thoughts or ideas to the receiver. Receiver is the one who is going to receive. Now, I am communicating my knowledge with you all. So, I will be the sender. You all are listening to it and accepting whatever I am saying. You all become the receivers. So, the sender represents the source of communication. Now, there can be a various sources of communication, verbal, non-verbal. Now, that is an in-depth. Let us see how much you all have in your syllabus. We'll complete only that much. Otherwise, if we in graduation, when you all grow a little bit more, then you will have a entire book on communication skills. In probably in your graduation also, post 12th standard, when you all enter for graduation, any degree, BCom or BA, BMS, BAF, I think you all don't know it yet now, but further if you go, you will be having a book called as communication skills, and in that you'll be having everything related to communication, each and every minute detail, each and every minute concept of communication. Fine. So sender is the one who is going to send the ideas, suggestions, opinions, feelings, and everything. And the source of communication could be anything. Second element of communication process is the message. What does your message contains? What is the message which the sender wants to send? So it is the content of ideas, feelings, suggestions, order, opinions intended to be communicated. So the content, the message which the sender is sending with himself or herself is called as message. So second element of communication process is message. Now again here we have used the term process. So I have already said to you all that whenever you hear anything like process, steps, then it needs to be in the proper sequence. So here also you have to follow all the elements of communication process in a proper sequence. You cannot jumble up here and there. It should be in a proper order. First is sender, then it is always going to be the sender. You cannot write a receiver first. You have to be in a sequence. You have to maintain that order. So first is sender. Second is the message. Third is encoding. Now, what is encoding? So the process of converting the message into communication symbols such as words, pictures, gestures. Now, encoding the message, you are converting the message. You are trying to understand the message, whether what exactly the sender wants to communicate. So that is what is called as encoding. When you do encoding, you get to know whether the message is given in words, in a graphical format, in a design format, in a picture format, everything you will get to know. Fourth is media. Now, what medium have you used to do the communication? What exactly medium you have used to do the communication? So it is the path through which encoded message is transmitted to receiver. Channel may be in written form, face-to-face, phone call, internet, etc. So media is the medium which the sender has used to pass his message till the receiver. So whether he has used a written format, whether he is going to communicate it face to face, whether he is going to make a phone call, or whether he is going to mail in via internet, completely depends upon the sender. That depends upon the sender. The medium or the media depends upon the sender. That what source of communication he wants to choose. Written form, face to face, phone call, internet, whatever it is. Fifth is decoding. So it is the process of converting encoded symbols of the senders. Now the receiver will decode the message that what exactly the sender wants to communicate. Sixth, receiver, the person who is going to receive the communication of the sender. As I already said, sender is the person who will send the message or the communication. Receiver is the one who is going to receive that communication. Seventh is the feedback. So it includes action of receiver indicating that he has received and understood the message of the sender. So finally, the receiver is going to give a feedback on the message or on the communication which sender has sent it to him. Receiver is going to give him the feedback. Then comes noise. So noise means obstructions or hindrance to communication. This hindrance may be caused to sender, message or receiver. Some examples of noise are. So next, after the feedback, there could be the possibility of noise. There might be some kind of problem while communication from the end of the sender, or it can be caused due to the message, or it can also be caused due to the receiver. Few examples of noise. An ambiguous symbol that lead to faulty encoding. Now it is possible that at times when the receiver is encoding the message of the sender, he might misinterpret the meaning of one of the symbol. Say suppose the symbol is hashtag. Now the receiver has encoded this hashtag, but he has wrongly encoded it. He doesn't know uh, there might be some problem in his encoding. Then a poor telephone connection. If the communication is happening via telephone, via phone call, and the telephone connection is poor or weak, then that might also create a problem. Inattentive receiver. Like I'm speaking, all the receivers are nicely relaxing at home. So inattentive receiver. This could also be the possibility, and this could also be the part of noise. Faulty decoding. Acha, no, Sadhna? Very good. Attaching wrong meanings to the message. So faulty decoding, sender has decoded a wrong meaning of the message. Prejudices, obstructing the poor understanding of message. The understanding of the message is poor, not appropriate. Gesture and postures that may distort the message. The gestures and the postures are not that clear to the receiver. So again, it could be the part of noise. Fine. Last topic for the day is importance of communication. Why communication is important. So communication is one of the most central aspects of managerial activities. It has been estimated that a manager spends 90% of his time in communicating, reading, writing, listening, guiding, instructing, approving, reprimanding, etc. So it has been estimated, the study proves that 90% of the time manager is doing communication through different forms or through different channels of communication. Could be reading, writing, guiding, motivating, instructing, approving. All of these are the ways through which a particular manager is going to communicate with his subordinates. So 90% of the time the manager is busy in the communication. Effectiveness of a manager depends significantly on his ability to communicate effectively with his superiors and subordinates, external agencies such as bankers, suppliers, union, and government. So the communication is the very or the most important part for all the managers, because their communication should need to be very much precise and clear to all the subordinates as well as to their top managers, right? And of course with other external parties as well. There are external people also who are involved in the business, so with them also you have to communicate, right? It could be suppliers, bankers, government, financial institution, or other organizations. So with them also you have to keep your communication very much precise and clear. So communication is extremely very important for all the managers, and not for all the managers, for us also, right? First important, it act as a basis of coordination. Communication act as a basis of coordination. It provides coordination among departments, activities, and persons in the organization. Such coordination is provided by explaining about organizational goals, mode of their achievement, interrelationship between different individuals, etc. So coordination is, your communication will improve the coordination amongst the different departments and functions of the organization, as communication is something which is going to briefly describe what are the organizational goals, how they're going to do the achievement, what are the interpersonal relationship between the individuals working in the organization. So overall it will act as a coordination purpose. Second, it will help in smooth working of an enterprise. Communication makes possible for the smooth and unrestricted working of the enterprise. All organizational interactions depend on communication. Job of a manager is to coordinate the human and physical elements of an organization into an efficient and active working unit that achieves common objectives. Yes, but obvious. Communication is going to help or improve the smooth functioning in the organization. If you have good communication with everyone, there will be good interpersonal relations, human relations, physical relations, efficient working, active working. Everything will be very good in the organization. It is only communication which makes smooth working of an enterprise possible. Communication is basic to an organization's existence right from its birth through its continuing life. When communication stops, organized activity ceases to exist. So communication is something which is a continuous process and which is going to go along till the time the organization is existing. The time when the organization stops, there is a very big disaster starts creating in the organization. Decision making. So communication provides needed information for decision making. In its absence, it may not be possible for the managers to take any meaningful decision. Only on the basis of communication or relevant information one can take right decision. Of course, if nobody is communicating in the organization, how come we will make the decision? If we don't know about certain things, it is very difficult to make decisions. So you need to communicate in the organization very properly, very nicely, and very smoothly in order to make the decision. Next, it says increases managerial efficiency. Communication is going to increase the efficiency of the manager. Read the points. That lubricates the entire organization. That means it keeps connected with entire organization. Communication is something which will keep a close contact with each and every one, each and every individual working in the organization. That is why we say it lubricates the entire organization. It will keep the connectivity or close connections with each and every individual in the organization. So communication is important for effective performance of the managers, because managers are going to communicate all the things like goals, targets, issue instructions, allocating job responsibilities, and everything to their subordinates via communication. If they will not communicate, subordinates will not come to know what needs to be exactly done. So first of all, superior or the managers are going to communicate everything to the subordinates, and then subordinates will accordingly start working. Communication is also involved in involved in all these aspects. Yes, designing goals, deciding targets, deciding issue instructions, allocating job, everywhere communication is required. And thus we say communication lubricates the entire organization and keeps the organization at work with efficiency. Next, promotes cooperation and industrial peace. So efficient operation is the aim of all prudent management. It may be possible only when there is industrial peace in the factory and mutual cooperation between the management and workers. Two-way communication promotes cooperation and mutual understanding between the management and workers. If you want to promote cooperation, smooth flow, peace in the organization, should balance the relationship between the management as well as the workers. And for that, see, communication can be of two types. It can be a one-way communication. It can be a two-way communication. One-way communication, which we studied about under autocratic style of leadership, wherein only one person is commanding or passing orders to the subordinates. In return, nobody is going to say anything to the superior. Such kind of communication, when only one person says, another person does not reply, is called as one-way communication. Whereas two-way communication means one person says, another person also replies, is called as two-way communication. So in the organization also, there should be always two-way communication. Management should communicate with worker, as well as workers should also be communicating with the managers. Then only there will be a proper cooperation, peace, and good working condition inside the organization. Then it establishes effective leadership. Communication is the basis of leadership. Effective communication helps to influence subordinates. This is what we said, right? What is the communication style of the leader? Depending upon that, subordinates will listen to the leader and follow his lead, will get influence from the leader. If the communication is poor, is weak, is not appropriate, then even followers or the subordinates would not like to communicate with the managers. Okay, so communication is something which is going to influence the subordinates. So while influencing people, leaders should possess good communication skill. So while influencing the subordinates, all the leaders should have good communication skills. Seventh is boosts morale and provides motivation. So an efficient system of communication enables management to motivate, influence, and satisfy the subordinates. Good communication assists the workers in their adjustment with the physical and the social aspect of work. If the manager is not communicating properly, nicely, motivatingly, influencing the subordinates, subordinates will not get satisfied, right? So a manager needs to have a very good communication style, which will influence all the subordinates, which will motivate all the subordinates, and hence will satisfy all the subordinates. And a good communication will assist all the workers with all the kind of work, be it be a physical work, be it be a social work. It improves good human relations in the industry. Communication is the basis of participative and democratic pattern of management. Communication helps to boost morale of employees as well as managers. So be it be an democratic style, be it be a participative, that is your laissez-faire, everywhere communication is going to be in the picture in the management. And communication will also help to boost the or motivate the morals of employees and managers.